as the initial details were coming out yesterday with the killing by Officer Kim Potter of Daunte Wright, Joe Biden was asked about this, and I want to give you a little bit of what he had to say.
Watched, I assume as I did, the film, which is fairly, the body cam, which is fairly graphic. The question is, was it an accident? Was it intentional? That remains to be determined by a full-blown investigation. But in the meantime, I want to make it clear again, there is absolutely no justification, none, for looting, no justification for violence. Peaceful protest, understandable.
It's always amazing what there is justification for and not. And you saw it, like usually they at least separate these two things, but right there Biden's like, murder, maybe justified, maybe not. Looting, never, under any circumstances. And again, looting's not what's going on. There's protests asking for accountability with the cops. So instantly, any protest, any gathering is talked about as a looting riot. That's what it's described as. But that totally out, can never happen. Stealing, after all, you can never get the thing back. Murder, easy to get the person back. So anyway, as a first response, Dan, from Biden, I found that to be at best weak and at worst playing into the way that the right wing is going to be talking about this case, and I'm sure already has been.
Yeah, John, I mean, like you and I both, as people who are supporting Bernie Sanders in the primary, kind of expected that we would get this weak action kind of across the board from Joe Biden in issues relating from like healthcare to police reform or anything relating to this. And we know that he's gonna kind of revert back into his idea of I'm the great unifier. We know that Trump led, I think he thinks that a lot of the violence was associated with the Trump era and he can keep it packed into the Trump era and try to be seen as this great leader. But it is, to me, that's an assumption that's very much caught up in the ego of Joe Biden and the legacy building that presidents kind of do from day one once they get into office, whether they want to admit it or not, and less rooted in the real struggles that African Americans, brown people, indigenous people, everyone's kind of feeling in this country right now at the hands of the police. Like, that's another point. We talked about the original like killing that's going on and the context of dehumanization of people and how there's no way that Kim Porter would have possibly like had that same reaction to like she wouldn't have had that same reaction where it's someone she knew, right? But at that same time, there's a dehumanization in this conversation about looting, right? Because it's always, like you said, John, murder, bad, maybe cop did it. I don't know. Even though this is a thing that happens so often that we have to go through a song and dance about it. Murder, maybe, I don't know, but please no looting. Please know that. It's, again, dehumanization, because what's implicit there is that black people, brown people, indigenous people, people who have been victimized, working class white people who are like don't have privilege in these like communities where the police kind of control things based on class and stature, right? Anybody in America who is victimized by police is going to, expected by the Democratic Party implicitly, to just continue accepting it, accepting no change, accepting no movement on anything at all. And they're also expected to not get angry, to not get upset, because the looting and all that's happening, I've said this before, like last year, I'll say it again. I don't like support that as a first measure of action. I think there are radical moves you can take in activism and pressuring politicians and like local officials to do more tangible things than breaking through properties that are oftentimes owned by people of color. But that's an expression of frustration because the usual like methods of acting within a political system are no longer working. When you see constant like rioting and looting, that's a sign of a failing political state. And again, in the context of this dehumanization of people of color, it's very clear that Joe Biden and his sort of regime within the Democratic Party aren't interested in tackling these bigger structural issues.
Yeah, like returning the soul of America apparently doesn't have anything to do with stopping the cops from killing people. That's a different soul, I guess. It's not America's soul. Yeah, and the cops will always say, no, okay, yeah, so like we goofed and we killed someone, but like everybody just calm down and just go away. We'll take care of it, because that always works well. You always get justice when everybody just waits patiently. Look about like Derek Chauvin. It's like maybe there's a chance after a year of protests that maybe they'll get him. Anyway, so like you train people that if they do what you tell them to do, if they're quiet, if they're silent, if they protest in the way that Fox News is comfortable with, they have been trained to know that they will get absolutely nothing from that. So you would have to be insane to think that that is what they will continue to do.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.